Hi, my name is Christina Klausen. I'm the co-author of the book Down Syndrome the First Years. Down Syndrome the First Years is the book that I would have wanted when I got my child Brooke. She was born in December 2016 and it turned out she was born with Down syndrome. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book, and then I'm going to introduce you to Ina, who I worked with on the book. For both of us, both me and my husband, this was something that we were not expecting, and we both were shocked and scared and sad that we didn't get that child that we had expected, a healthy and child without any diagnosis. So after a while I started asking myself a lot of questions. So the main question was, how can I make this a good life for Björk? What can I do to make her independent and happy and also have a good family life? So I really dug myself into a lot of themes around Down syndrome, and I started to study all the things that were going on Facebook, and also had my own experiences when I met with the system, the healthcare system, and other experts that were trying to help us. And I found that often the parents had more knowledge on the specifics in Down syndrome, and that they also had some questions that kept on being unanswered. But I also found that on Facebook there were a lot of themes that gave misinformation. So gradually I got the idea to write a book about Down syndrome, the early years, and how to stimulate your child in a good way, but also about all the themes that we are preoccupied with as parents. So I cooperated to write this book. I cooperated with 200 parents from 4 Nordic countries, the Faroe Islands, Denmark, Sweden and Norway. And I also cooperated with 13 experts to write the different chapters, because we realized that we didn't have enough knowledge it wasn't scientific enough if we didn't cooperate with those people that actually had the scientific knowledge on each theme. So the process of the book was that I cooperated with, I watched on Facebook and so on which themes are the parents interested in, and we put them into different categories, and then we wrote actually 33 chapters, just as many as we have chromosomes. So what was difficult about writing the book was that both the fact that there are so many families that have so many perspectives on Down syndrome, and to be able to contain all the different perspectives and make it all right to look at things differently was a big factor. And the other thing was to bridge the gap between how we parents see a subject and also how the experts see the subject. And I was very determined that we had to have both the experts and the parents satisfied with the product. So every chapter we wrote was back and forth many times, and where the parents, at least I would say 10 or 20 parents, read the chapters before it came back to the expert and back to me, and so on and so forth, and back to the journalist that I wrote the book with, EURLAID, and also our publisher, Nina Skauge. And we also had other experts read the chapters, so we had a thorough process on each chapter. I was very determined that this should be a book that parents can read and that takes up the main issues that parents are interested in, not the main issues that experts see as the first thing and the most important thing, but the questions here and now that parents have when they are with a small child with Down syndrome. The book has been very well received by a lot of people, and I am, as I started with initially, very proud to say that also it is in a suitcase that all parents receive at the hospital now. So if you have your child with Down syndrome, you get this book in a suitcase with other things, other items, but it will be one of the first books that you are offered when you have a child with Down syndrome in Norway. So I wanted to write a book for parents, the book for parents that is a nice looking book, that has many beautiful pictures, that has a nice layout, and we had a company, Enti, that helped us do that, and we also made our own alphabet with Down syndrome, so some of the letters have a twist. It's not a super it's a realistic book, but it's also a very optimistic book. I hope you enjoy the conference, and I now give the floor to my colleague Ena.